Hey everybody, this is Tyler Baker, the soon-to-be pastor of Valiant Baptist Church in Jacksonville, Florida. I wanted to make a quick video real quick, an additional response. So I responded, and I uploaded the video just yesterday to Pastor Anson's original video about me being fired. Tyler Baker fired from FWBC. And I just showed that the guy is totally inconsistent. His story makes zero sense. There's so many things that are just lies about what, the things he's saying about my work ethic, and all of this just total crap. And so he, real quick, uploads a video, and in the video, he's like going through my timesheets. But I want to address something first. I'm going to get to the timesheets in just a minute. But I want to address something first before I get to the timesheets. And that's in the very beginning of his video. He admits, yeah, I was very generous. All those things that he says are true. So he's like admitting that his position makes zero sense. He's admitting that, that the entire time that I was there, he treated me as if I was a great employee. But he wants you to believe that I wasn't a great employee, but rather that I was a terrible employee. And he even says in the video, I thought he was a great guy, but I'm lazy, but I'm ignorant, but I'm arrogant. He says all that stuff came out later. Now I'm going to show you that he keeps doing this. He keeps having to change his position. If he was telling the truth, then he wouldn't need to do that. And I'm going to actually show you a just glaring contradiction in both of his videos. Tyler Baker fired from FWBC. And then I make a video and call him out on his lies, and now he has to change his video again. So in his original video, the clip that I'm going to show you right now, Tyler Baker fired from FWBC, he clearly states, he makes no bones about it, that he was aware that I was a bad employee, that he was aware that I was lazy and that I wasn't doing any work, and that he was aware that I just wasn't getting anything done. He even says that him and the other guys were having to just pick up the slack and do all the, all the other work.
I mean, he's basically just hardly doing any work. It's frustrating to me. It's frustrating to Garrett. It's frustrating to Brother Segura, because it's like you give him work to do, he doesn't get it done. And basically, we've all just been saying, well, let's just do it ourselves, because if we give it to him, it doesn't get done. So he's unfaithful with his work. Because I thought about firing him many times just for his work performance.
So there you have the first clip that I was going to show you real quick from his original video that I had responded to just yesterday. And in that video, it's not unclear. He says very obvious. It's very obvious. He says very clearly that he knew that I was lazy, that he knew that I was a bad employee, that he even says that he contemplating firing me. And keep in mind, this is because I'm lazy. That's what he keeps saying. Because he's saying he knew for a fact that I was lazy. He even brings up these examples of he'd give me responsibilities, and I wouldn't do them. That everybody's frustrated. We're giving him these things to do, and he's not getting them done, so we're just doing them ourselves, and all this ridiculous stuff. Now I'm going to explain to you real quick the specific contradiction, which is real bad. Pastor Anson made a bad slip up in his recent video. So he goes ahead in this new clip that I'm getting ready to show you right now, and you can go in there, listen to the context all you want, listen to the whole video. What you'll find is that he repeatedly contradicts himself. He makes a really bad slip up in this video I'm getting ready to show you right now. What he says is that he wrote my check, and I trusted you. He says, but you know what? I didn't find out that you were lazy until after you were fired. And he's talking about the timesheets. So he's basing it on purely? He's basing everything upon the timesheets. That's what it's all based upon. So I'm going to show you this clip right now, and just keep in mind how he words this and everything, and understand that he had no evidence. He admits that up until the point I was fired, he trusted me and did not think I was lazy, but rather kept writing me checks, kept paying me because he did not think that I was lazy. And he's explaining to you that the only evidence that he has is my timesheets. Keep that in mind. Watch the clip.
Right here. And you know what? Me writing you a check isn't evidence that you did a good job. It's just evidence that I didn't catch you being lazy until after you got fired. Did I actually check up on your work? Because I trusted you. Forgive me this wrong for trusting you.
So there you have it. It couldn't be any clearer. The guy is just a total liar. Totally inconsistent. These videos are made 8-9 months apart. And isn't it funny how things work out? He makes a video. I prove him to be a liar. And he basically admits, everything you said in your video was true, because he knows that there's so many people that could validate this. And he's like, everything you said in your video is true. And so he says in his first video, that he's considering firing me. I'm such a bad employee. I just do such a terrible job. But then in his new video, he's like, well, I didn't know about it until the end, until after he left. So what would you have been basing it on? What would you have been basing, the fact that I was a bad employee on? And this is where I'm going to get to the timesheets, because he left out a very important fact. And that's maybe some of the important facts that he left out in his first video that I had to go on and explain. And then he just tries to take all the credit. Well, I do all those things, because I'm just a generous person. I treated you very well when you were just a bad employee, even though I didn't know about it. But I didn't know about it, because I'm just a really good guy. I'm just a really nice guy. So I'm going to give you some of the facts about the timesheets as well, and something that was going on. And there's many people that can validate this as well at Faith Forward Baptist Church. A lot of these people, not a lot of them, practically every single person. This isn't some sort of secret. This isn't something that not a lot of people know. Everybody's aware of this. Pastor Anderson is known for having blind followers. When you watch on YouTube, the people get on there and make the most ridiculous statements, nothing of content, super immature. That's another characteristic of all of Pastor Anderson's followers. They're super immature. And this goes for, people in the church aren't near as bad, but this goes for people in the church as well. They're just blind followers. Pastor Anderson rules out of fear. He constantly is making threats, kicking people out of the church. And Pastor Anderson tries to use in this video, he tries to use Brother Garrett and Brother Segura as these are reliable witnesses. Brother Garrett and Brother Segura. These are guys that work for you, that saw how you treated me and have seen how you treated multiple people. And they know that if they disagree with you, and if they were to express any kind of disagreement, they know how you would react. They've seen it many times and they know what you would do. And I'm sure a guy, Brother Segura specifically, who names one of his kids Stephen Anderson Segura, and another one of his kids, his daughter, Susanna Anderson Segura. I'm sure that guy, we can really trust him not to be biased and to give you just to stick to the truth. I'm sure. Now I'm going to go over a couple of things here about the timesheet specifically, because he brings this out. He's like, this is hard evidence. Now, first of all, showing anyone's timesheets, it wouldn't matter who it is, that doesn't prove that the person's not working. Maybe they're just not filling out their timesheets detailed. Maybe they're just not writing in everything that they're doing. And that's exactly what happened in my case. Now, first of all, I want to give you a little bit of a background about what was going on in the first place, because if you were to compare my timesheets in the very beginning and my timesheets toward the end, you would see that it is true that I was working a lot more and that I was working in the beginning than I was towards the end. And you would also see that, like he pointed out, that I was filling out less of what I was doing towards the end. Now, you could probably find timesheets where I had done that at any point. And, I wanted to say something to Brother Segura real quick, too, while I'm on this subject exactly, because he made a statement to me. I saw that he popped up in the comments. And I want the guy to at least have an ounce of integrity in his body, just to at least admit a little bit of the truth. Him and I were having a conversation one time while he was working there. And he came to me and said to me, because he was submitting his timesheets to me, and I was looking over them. When Brother Segura was hired on, and Brother Garrett Kurzweil, I was told by Pastor Anderson that I was basically their supervisor. And Brother Segura would bring his timesheets to me. Brother Segura even would call me boss. He's very respectful. The guy's a super hard worker. They like to lie about other people, but I'm not going to do that about them. So he would come to me and he gave me his timesheets and everything. And one time he was talking to me because he started filling them out on his phone. And he was saying, man, if you don't fill these things out right away, you forget everything that you were doing. You forgot. It feels like you didn't do anything when you look back and do it. And that is exactly true. And that's partially what would happen sometimes. That goes all the way back to the very beginning when I started working there. If you don't fill out right away, then you'll forget, man, I feel like you just can't remember everything that you did. So, there, towards the end, this is what I want to get. This is the other point that I wanted to make. So, towards the end, after Brother Garrett was hired on, and especially right when Brother Segura was hired on, Pastor Anderson implemented, a process that was going to be phasing me out. And he actually holds up the paper in his first video, just going over the obligations, except he doesn't tell you exactly what that paper is. The purpose of that paper is not just to say, these are your responsibilities and these are your responsibilities. That was definitely a part of it. But the end purpose of that paper, the main overarching purpose that it was even written up in the first place, was to see where my duties were going to be distributed to. Everything that I was doing at the church. Some things were going to be given to Brother Garrett, and some things were going to be given to Brother Segura. They have different skill sets, just like anyone would, that has a different background, work history, and stuff like that. So there was certain things I was going to be given to Brother Garrett, and there was certain things that were going to be given to Brother Segura, Brother Chris. So that plan started to implement. And it's one of the things too that's pretty strange about it is that there's a guy that lives right around here in northern Kentucky, greater Cincinnati area where I live right now, and his name is Simon Faulkner. And this guy actually came down, and I didn't know him before I moved out here. I met him because he started listening to Pastor Stephen Anderson while I was there, and kind of got in touch with me like, hey, I live in your area, and it was pretty interesting. So him and I would communicate, not very much, but just some. But when he came down and actually visited the church right around Christmas time, I can't remember the month, maybe January or something, December possibly, he came down and he visited. And when he was there, we had already talked about it. It may have been after that, I can't remember exactly when. I talked about with him because his wife asked a good question. I took him out to dinner, and his wife asked a good question. She said, so how's it going to work with you, starting the church and then these other guys, being hired on? And I think, Brother Segura may not have, I can't remember exactly what was going on at the time yet, and how long it was or whatever. But she asked that question, and I explained to her that there was already a process that Pastor Anderson had already went over with us and explained, how this was actually going to take place, that I was going to be phased out. That he said these words, I want you, before you leave here, I want you to be doing nothing pertaining to FWBC, and I want you to be solely working on Valiant Baptist Church when you live here. When you leave here, when I leave the company, he's saying when I leave employment from Faithful Word Baptist Church, I want you to be just working solely on Valiant Baptist Church. And that's exactly what was going on right around that time. I don't know exactly which month that we began doing this, and I would go ahead and I would guess, but I'm not positive about this, that it was probably around the time of April. Because you can see a transition in my timesheets there. He even talks about that. Now, of course, like I said, there's going to be other days where maybe I didn't fill anything out. And what happened was I would work that day, all day. I would go, home. I would come back again and work all day, and I would forget or not fill out my 2 timesheets. The next day would come around, I would work all day as well, and I would remember, hey, I got to do my timesheets. And when I sit down to do them, hey, I know what I did. I know that I worked, but I didn't remember exactly what it was, so I would just write in the hours that I worked. It's a lot easier to be able to say, hey, I know I worked from here to here. I can even ask my wife, hey, do you remember what time I went in? Anything like that. And another thing that you would notice too is that I was working a lot less hours at that time as well. You can see, because he's like, oh, he's working 4 hours, he's working 8 hours. That's because I had already given over all of these responsibilities. You know what, Brother Garrett and Brother Segura, they can, maybe if their pastor is just going down the garbage, going down the toilet really, they don't have to do the same thing. They can at least stand up and they can say, you know what, that's true. You had given basically all your responsibilities. Brother Garrett was already answering the emails. Brother Garrett was already answering the voicemails. Brother Garrett was making clips. Excuse me. Brother Segura was making clips. Brother Segura had already started doing all the runs to buy all the material, which is a lot. You don't understand how much that is until you see that the church was large. Brother Garrett was already doing the accounting work. I'd already sat down a couple of times and went over how to pay the taxes, how to log the taxes. He had even started doing the payroll. Brother Garrett was basically, I had almost distributed all the work. The only things that I was doing during this time was small little things. Because I had ran out of stuff. I even went to Pastor Anderson and I said to him, hey, I'm running out of stuff to do. I'm going to start answering some of the emails again. I'm going to go in there and I'll just start answering some of the emails. And I let Brother Garrett know too, hey, I'm going to start doing some of the emails because I was running out of things to do. That's why I was working less hours, because I was being phased out. Now maybe that we started doing that process too early, or maybe whatever, but whatever the reason is, that's the truth about what was going on. And what I wanted to mention about Simon Faulkner to finish that story was that, so I had a dinner with him, and she asked me, how's this all going to work? And I explained the process of being phased out. And when all of this went down, Brother Simon was one of the first people that kind of stood up for me on Facebook. And when he did so, he was immediately deleted and blocked on Facebook by Pastor Stephen Anderson. And why he was deleted and blocked was because Brother Simon just asked a couple of questions. He just said on there, and mind you, I didn't know this guy. I'm not related to this guy. I had no clue who he was. I met him twice, Washington, D.C. Soul Marathon, and I met him when he came down and visited. And he just said, hey, some of this doesn't make sense. You're saying that you contemplated, not sending Brother Baker out and all this stuff, but you stood up and said that he was qualified to pastor just months before that. And he's like, and then not only that, he's like, Brother Baker told me that he was going to be doing less work for the church. And he's like, and he explained, before any of this happened, you had no reason to lie about that. I'm wondering what's going on. So you know what he does? He deletes the comment and he blocks Simon Faulkner immediately. Simon told me about it. When I got here, he even showed me that exact post where Peter James was one of the other guys. He's well known in our movement. He was commenting on there, so I saw the post and everything, and he just deleted and blocked him. And Pastor Anderson's been doing this. He's talked about many times how it's like, we have nothing to hide or anything like that. It's pretty funny because I have a screenshot also of when Brother Russell Botts made his video, and Brother Russell Botts' whole video was basically a challenge to Pastor Anderson because Pastor Anderson keeps saying that they were constantly just contacting people. And they were just constantly, trying to, steal people away from the church, and they're constantly attacking people from our church and just trying to cause division. And Brother Russell came out and said, why don't you guys have any text messages against us doing that, or of us doing that? Why don't you guys have any emails of us doing that? Why don't you guys have any phone calls of us doing that during this time period when we were supposedly stealing people away and trying to do all these things? And he said, and Brother Russell said another thing too, that ever since I've been to that church, I've noticed that Pastor Stephen Anderson is a total and absolute, he's a liar. The guy exaggerates about things. He's just a dishonest person in general, and that's what these videos have proven. The guy's totally inconsistent, and he comes out with these things, and he'll take anything. The fact that I didn't just fill in my timesheets all the way, he's like, see, he was a lazy worker. It's totally ridiculous. Like I said, the guy's getting really desperate, and he's looking for things to twist, ways to attack. It's totally ridiculous. And Simon Faulkner saw the truth in this, and he came and he's like, man, none of this makes sense. Can you tell me your side of the story? I told him my side of the story, and he's like, man, that's crazy. It's obvious what the truth is here. It's obvious who the liar is here. The guy is just a bold-faced liar, and people just need to wake up. Whether or not, I hope one day that Pastor Stephen Anderson repents of all this. I hope that he admits at some point in his life I was wrong. I treated Tyler Baker wrong. I treated a lot of his family wrong. Maybe he did this to other people in the past. I treated, also our friends. I said a lot of his family, my family, and my friends. I treated, other people in the past wrong. I hope one day that that's gonna happen, but I doubt it. I'm gonna be, truthful with you. I doubt that will happen. That he'll admit, how he lied about all this, and just how it's just all like a personal revenge of what's going on here. And it's just totally ridiculous, everything that has happened. None of it makes sense. If anybody tried to look into this as an outsider, that's what they would say. They would say, he's inconsistent, he's a liar. It's funny how he has to keep changing his story every time something comes out. That tells you a lot. There's a famous expression, I don't know if I'm gonna get it right or not, but it's along the lines of, you have to have a good memory when you're a liar. Or I think actually like this, you better have a good memory when you're a liar. And all Pastor Anderson had to do was just go back and watch his other videos, and just make sure that he wasn't contradicting himself. But I guess his memory isn't as good as everybody thinks it is. Have a good day, and God bless you.